Welcome to today's class of chapter 5, that is data handling. Well, today in this class we will learn about the graphical representation of the data that we come across in our day-to-day life. So let us first understand what data actually means. Well, in various fields we need information in form of numerical figures, and here each numerical figure is called an observation, and the collection of all observations is called data. In short, data can be defined as a collection of numerical facts regarding a particular type of information. Also, data available to us is in an unorganized form and is generally known as raw data. But here, to draw a meaningful inference, we need to organize the data systematically. So, let us learn about the graphical representation, as it includes various methods to organize the data systematically, and these methods are as follows: telechart or frequency chart, pictograph, bar graph, double bar graph, histogram, and pie chart. Now let us understand these methods of representation one by one. So let us start with frequency, or say frequency chart. Well, frequency gives the number of times a particular entry occurs, and the table displaying frequency is known as frequency distribution table, or say frequency chart. Here, let us understand about frequency distribution using an example. Suppose we make survey of 20 families of a locality and find the number of children in each family. Here, by arranging the observation in ascending order, we find that 1 occurs 6 times, 2 occurs 10 times, and 3 occurs 4 times. Thus, we can say that the frequency of families having one child is 6, and the frequency of families having 2 children is 10, and frequencies of families having 3 children is 4. Thus, the frequency distribution table of the above mentioned data can be shown or displayed as shown here. Now, let us understand about pictograph. A pictograph represents data using pictures or symbols. Here in the given example, the picture displays 2 flowers, and thus as the month of January has 3 pictures, we can say that number of flowers for January will be 3 into 2, that is 6. Similarly, as month of February has 4 pictures, we can say that number of flowers for February will be 4 into 2, that is 8. Also, as month of March has 2 pictures, we can say that number of flowers for March will be 2 into 2, that is 4. Now let us learn about bar graph. A bar graph is a graph that displays frequency or numerical distributions of a variable showing various values for each bar next to each other for easy comparison. Here let us understand about bar graph using an example. Well, in June 2005, US Department of Transportation reported following data by observing 1700 motorcyclists nationwide at randomly selected roadway locations. Here, motorcyclists with proper helmet were 731, those were insufficient helmet were 153, and those with no helmets were 816. Thus, the bar graph of the above mentioned data can be presented in, or say represented in form of bar graph as mentioned here or as shown here. Now, let us also understand about the double bar graph using an example. But before that, let us understand what actually double bar graph is for. So, we can say that double bar graph gives comparison between two categories or individual things in form of a bar graph. Here, let us understand using the example. The following table shows number of pets owned by students in 2 classes. Here, dog is owned by 12 students of class A and 14 students from class B. Cat is owned by 9 students from class A and 8 students from class B. Similarly, birds are owned by 2 students from class A and 3 students from class B. And this information is shown or say displayed in graphical representation drawn by the side. Now let us learn about histogram. A histogram is a bar graph that shows the frequency of data within equal intervals and there is no space between the bars. Here, let us understand about histogram using an example. The table below shows the number of hours students watch TV in 1 week. Here, from table we can say that 15 students saw TV for the time interval of 1 to 3 hours. Similarly, 17 students saw TV for the time interval of 4 to 6 hours and another 17 saw TV for the time interval of 7 to 9 hours. Thus, a histogram of the data can be presented as shown here. Now, let us learn about pie chart. A circle graph or pie chart represents the data in circular form. A circle shows relationship between a whole and its parts and is divided into sectors. And these sectors visually represents an item in a dataset to match the amount of item as a percentage or fraction of the total dataset. Now let us understand how to draw a pie chart. Well, the first step says calculate the angle of each sector using the formula, and this we will learn in the next slide. Here the second step says draw a circle using the pair of compass. Whereas the third step says use a protractor to draw the angle for each sector. And step 4 says label the pie chart and all its sectors. So now let us learn how to calculate an angle of a pie chart. Thus, to calculate the angle of each sector using the following formula, we can draw the pie chart. Thus, the formula says angle of sector will be equals to frequency of data upon total frequency into 360 degree. Here, total angles should add up to 360 degree. Now, let us understand pie chart using an example. In school, there are 750 students in year 1, 450 students in year 2 and 630 students in year 3. Thus, we need to draw the circle graph to represent the number of students in these groups. Well, here the total number of students would be 750 plus 420 plus 630 and that would sum up to 1800. Now, size of angle for year 1 would be 750 upon 1800 into 360, which gives us the angle of 150 degree. Similarly, size of angle for year 2 would be 420 upon 1800 into 360, which gives us the angle of 84 degrees. And that for year 3 would be 630 upon 1800 into 360, which gives us the angle of 126 degree. Well, the pie graph or say the pie chart for the previously obtained data can be represented as shown in the figure here or as shown in the pie chart here. Now let us learn about probability. Well, probability is used to describe the chances of events to occur. Every day we face probability statements involving words possible, odds, chances, likely, likelihood, etc. in form of questions like what is the likelihood that X will occur, or what is the chances that Brazil will win 2022 World Cup. Well, now let us learn about the difference between event and probability. An event is one specified result that may or may not occur when an experiment is performed. For example, in an experiment of tossing a coin, the coin landing with heads facing up is an event which may or may not occur, whereas probability of an event is the measure of likelihood of its occurrence. Here, let us learn about equal likelihood model. Well, this model applies when the possible outcome of an experiment is equally likely to occur. Here, suppose there are n equally likely possible outcomes from an experiment. Then, the probability that a specified event will occur is equal to the number of ways event can occur, that is f, upon total number of possible outcomes, that is n. Therefore, the probability is f upon n, where f is number of ways events can occur and n is total number of possible outcomes. Here, let us understand about probability using the following example. Well, a jar contains 1000 marbles in which 800 are black and 200 are red. What is the probability of drawing a black marble out of the jar? Well, here 800 is the number of possible outcome, that is f, and total number of possible outcome is 1000, which is n. Now, the probability for taking out the black marble would be 800 upon 1000, that is 0.8, whereas the probability of taking out or picking up red marble would be 200 upon 1000, that is 0.2. Here, the probability of drawing black marble is much higher than the probability of picking up a red marble because there are more number of black marbles in the jar. Well, here I have explained each concept using an example and request you to solve the exercise by yourself. Thank you.